it's time to dish with D. That's me. It's time for Hot Topics for Weight Loss. And I want to thank my girl Tony for hooking me up with a topic today because I was going a little bit blank. She said, how do we shake off when we don't want to follow the plan? Or how can we shake off when we're not on plan? Or the guilt we feel when we're not on plan? And here's the thing. I don't want to be rough here, but what I want to emphasize is sometimes we feel sorry for ourselves because we're on a weight loss journey, and sometimes I try to figure out why. Why do we feel bad for us because we're on a weight loss journey? We're here to get healthy. I think that's good and encouraging. Like, we all concentrate on what we can't eat, or we think we can't eat, instead of concentrating on what we can have and what we can eat. We think too much of, oh, I can't eat as much as I want. Oh, I can't have all this cake that I want. Truth be told, at least for me, and I say this a lot of times, but has been my experience with my journey, I ate too much. I ate way too much and way too much of the wrong things. I could still have some of those things, but not in the quantity that I used to have. And that was a huge learning experience for me, because that, I think, is what made the difference in my journey this go around, because I've been on Weight Watchers, like a lot of you, 1.5 million times. I'm not gonna lie, it's not, it's been my 8th inception, 9th, 10th, easily with Weight Watchers. But what made the difference? I finally embraced the program, and I embraced the foods. Now, granted, it was freestyle, so there was a lot of 0 point foods. I will give you that. But I embraced that, and I worked with it, and I didn't fight against it. We fight against things all the time. We fight against what we can't have. We fight against that I can't have the seconds, and I can't have a whole half a cake. We can't. And when we think about it, should we be having seconds? Should we be having a whole half a cake? Probably not. But I think it's just what we're used to. We are just programmed to have that, to eat till we want to throw up some days. I've been there, I know. But here we are, told to have a sensible portion, to have, our vegetables, our protein, and maybe a starch in there in a nice little orderly fashion on our plate. And sometimes it doesn't look as full as we would like it to look. I'm used to not seeing the bottom of my plate. I will tell you that. I'm used to my plate being all food and not much of plate. Again, it takes a while to get used to something like that. I don't think it happens overnight. I don't. And I think we expect that. Or we watch a lot of YouTubers or just people in their journey, and they're like successful and they're killing the weight loss. And why can't I? Why can't I do that? And everybody's journey is different. Everybody's reaction to Weight Watchers is different. So somebody might be able to lose 3 pounds a week and somebody might not. Does that make them any less successful? No, it doesn't. It just makes their journey different. And it's hard to wrap around because we want to be like everybody else. We still have that, what we call envy. Diet envy, weight loss envy. We always want to be like keeping up with the Joneses. We want to keep up with people that, well, look at her, she does this and she loses this, but I do the same thing and I don't lose. Why? Does the program not work? No, it's just the way your body processes food is different than the way her body processes food. Maybe you should have, you could have more processed, she can't. You could have less processed, she can't. Everybody's just a little bit different, and I think we compare ourselves constantly. It's just the nature of who we are as humans, to compare. I want to be her. I want to, we're all different, and we all have our little niche, and we all have our little, what works for us. I mean, I was a slow loser. It took me close to 2.5 to 3 years to lose my 117 pounds. Does it make my journey any different than somebody else's that might have reached her goal in, 8-9 months? Maybe she lost the same amount of weight. It's all different. It's all how we approach it. It's all how our body breaks down food. It's, we didn't gain weight the same, so why should we lose weight the same? I mean, I grew up with bread. I'm Italian. It's just how it was. So maybe I'm not as carb sensitive as some other people. It's all different. I just think sometimes we put too much emphasis on that, and then we just get depressed when things we think should go the way we think that they should go. And when they don't go that way, we think we're losers. We think we're not good enough. We think our journey stinks, and then we get depressed. And then when that all happens, we go off track. And then even worse things happen. I try to emphasize sometimes that you're only one meal away from being back on track, because we all have mess ups. We all have things that we just can't control, and it just happens, and we're human. And I always try to say you're only one meal away from being back on track, which means, you could have the worst meal ever, but your next meal, say it was breakfast, if you need a lunch, to get back on track for lunch and dinner. You don't need to blow the whole day, because it's not always, and it's sometimes always as bad as we think. But I don't want we punish ourselves for things, and we just can't get out of that funk. Like, how do we get back on track? How do I get, why is it I can't seem to want to do the plan? I get through breakfast and lunch, and then I blow it at dinner. Because I really think, and I don't want to be too mean about it, but I really think we think about the things we want to have that are not on our plan. Like, I want that fried chicken, or I want that blooming onion when we go to Outback. I don't want a baked potato. I want the fried blooming onion. Well, I'm happy to be at Outback, number one, and I'm happy to have a steak at Outback. So I'm not really thinking about why I wish I had the blooming onion. But there are little things like that set people off, and they set people up to just be have the rest of the day be crappy. And I want you to think of all the foods that you eat and all the wonderful things you can do. I do say this a lot of times. I do find that cooking your own food gives you more options than buying prepared foods. But if prepared foods are what is your only option, then you just have to be careful of the contents of those foods, because they're not always good for us, and they're always a little bit higher in points. So you have to pay a little extra for that. But if that's your jam, that's your jam. I tend to try to create most of everything. If you watch my channel and you watch my videos and my cooking, I try to create things that I could eat that are lower in point but still hit that taste note, for cakes and muffins and pancakes and donuts, because I know that's what my mind wants to have. So I fake my mind out a little bit with these little bit, I call them hacks. They're just what I do to get through the day, and it hits the note, because sometimes you need the taste note to be satisfied. It's not always about having that. It's something that's going to hit that same note in the same way that it just makes your mind thinking, and it's satisfied, because you're not satisfied till you have that. We know this. One time somebody said at a Zoom, if you want a donut, try having a piece of chicken. No, if I want a donut, I want a donut. I don't want a piece of chicken. And I could eat that chicken, I'm still going to want that donut. So I find a way to, if I want a donut, or I find a way to make it where it's not going to kill me in points. It's just not. It's just going to be a way to fit that in. So I always say this a lot of times too. We all want the easy route. We all just want to join Weight Watchers and think that's the answer. And it's not. We have to put the work in. And people all the time will say, oh, well, how do you figure, you got to use the recipe builder. You have to think for yourself and find out the points. Plan your day with your points. Don't go asking people, what is the points for that? What is it? Go and figure them out for yourself. You have a calculator, you have a scanner, you have a recipe builder. That is how you learn and how you will develop into a good Weight Watcher. People say, I hate to track all the time. Tracking is a pain in the neck. I agree. I hate tracking. I still do it. But the more you do something, the more it becomes easier. And let me tell you something. Once you become successful and you've got 25, 30, 40 pounds off, you're going to want to track, because you're going to want more off. That is what's going to drive you to the next. It's that motivation that you need. And that is the only way we have of telling what we've eaten, is to put it down somewhere. Because don't depend on your mind, because your mind won't remember. At least mine doesn't. So don't beat yourself up. Dust yourself off. Get back on track. Focus on what you can eat. Focus on making fabulous food. There's a million recipes out there. There's a million sites. I love to hit Google and find things. If you find what you like, The flavors, I'm all about, ooh, there's a dead animal in the street. Yeah. All about fresh herbs and spices. That's why I love the Flavor God. I love putting flavorful food on my plate. I'm not eating steamed chicken and vegetables. I'm eating robust flavor of grilled chicken and a beautiful, I do sauteed vegetables, and they're fabulous. And I never sit there, and I am never envious of anybody else's food. In fact, people are envious of my food. That's what you want to achieve. You want people to go, wow, you're eating that and you're on Weight Watchers? Damn right I am. Yes, that's what you want, and you can achieve this. But yet, I'm not going to lie and say it's just going to happen overnight. It's not. You need to put the work in, and that's what a lot of people don't want to do. They don't want to work. They want it handed to them. And let me tell you something, it's not going to be handed to you. It's not. And I don't want you to be disenchanted. I want you to sit there and I want you to dig your heels in, and I want you to put the work in, because I want you to be successful, and I want you to embrace the program, embrace the lifestyle, because that's what you want. You want to make lifestyle sustainable changes, because that is what's going to keep you on track. That's what's going to keep you motivated, and that's what's going to keep you healthy and keep you going. You don't want to have a bender. And I always say you go off track occasionally, but we have those benders when it's days, they're hard to come back from, because you could put on 7 to 10 pounds on a bender. Let me tell you, I've been there and done it, and I don't want you to stop feeling sorry for yourself. That's the huge thing. We feel sorry. We're just like, oh, woe is me. I'm on Weight Watchers. I'm sad. And my doctor told me I have to lose. Don't be sad. He just gave you a ticket to the rest of your life. You want to live. You want to enjoy what time we have left. This world sucks. Let me tell you, it does. But you want to at least enjoy the suckiness. If that's a thing. You want to enjoy life. I don't want to see anybody in the hospital sick because they couldn't stop eating. That was me. I didn't want that to be I say this all the time. My legacy was, oh, poor Denise, she passed away because she couldn't pull herself away from the table. How mortifying is that? How mortifying. I didn't have anything wrong with me other than I overate. That would have been the reason that I passed away. My kids would be burying me because I had to go for seconds. I had to go for the bloomin' onion. That was me. I don't want that to be you. I want you guys to just embrace it, and stop feeling sorry for yourself. You've got nothing to be sorry about. You were given a gift that you joined and were able to join this program and to get these tools and to listen to people like me. It's a gift. So enjoy it, embrace it. Ask the questions, absolutely, but do the work, because that's what's going to set you apart from the people that aren't, and the successful versus the non-successful. How do people get to goal? Why aren't I at goal? Because you didn't put the work in. People at goal, I work hard. You see the recipes I put out. You see the vlogs that I do and the things that I say and the struggle that I had and what I had to do to grab it. You have to take charge of it. You have to, because it's your life. It's your life, and you're given the opportunity to do something, and I don't want to see you waste it. So put your big girl panties on, stop feeling sorry for ourselves, and embrace the gift you've been given of this program. And there's choices now that they didn't have years ago. Blue, green, and purple, we have choices. And there's something that is for everybody. If you need more discipline, go on the green. If you're midway, go on the blue. If you're loosey-goosey and you have no problem with portion control, then go on purple. I'm blue, true blue, and I will probably always be true blue, because it's enough freedom, but enough to reel me in. I can't have that many 0-point foods. I just can't, especially pastas and rices and potatoes, because I know me. I know I will overdo. And know who you are. That is always key. So I hope you enjoyed this vlog today for Hot Topics. If you give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. And hey, if you know somebody that needs Colonel D, I say this all the time, you can share my channel and invite your friends to Tea with D. Please do. Have a great day, and we will dish another day.